On today's show,
what if you're in a job that you don't love?
Don't quit your day job, change your attitude.
It's really our responsibility to do something about it.
Let's consider the subject of work. A lot of people, maybe most people, feel that they put so much into their work and they don't get enough back. A paycheck is just not enough anymore. It just doesn't satisfy the soul. Well, today we're going to talk about work and work satisfaction, and we're going to do our very best to satisfy your soul. Well, you're about to meet someone who has found different ways to really sink his heart into his work. Well, Dr. Alex Pattakos is the author of Prisoners of Our Thoughts, a book that invites us to find meaning. If you're in a job that you don't love, you found your way there one way or the other. I mean, it happens all the time, right? Lots of us do work for the paycheck or because it fits our schedule, and it's not necessarily the most meaningful thing.
Well, it's not just our work. I mean, a lot of us are in work situations we don't necessarily love, but it's also our personal relationships. It's maybe where we live, and maybe it's our physical health. I mean, why is this happening to me, and so forth. Any circumstance, any situation that we face, one of the things we have to come to grips with is that there's a seed of meaning in any situation.
Seed of meaning. What does meaning?
Well, it means is that we're personally responsible for discovering what is it that we are learning from our situations that we face, whether it's at work, whether it's in our personal lives, and then secondly, how are we going to grow and develop from that? So if we find out that we're working in a situation that's so toxic, it's so terrible, I mean, we are depressed all the time, that it's really our responsibility to do something about it. There's a chapter in my book that basically, the first chapter actually, it says life doesn't just happen to us. So part of it is up to us.
We're the agent of our own destiny.
What are we going to do about our life? You know, are we going to continue to use work as an excuse for bitching and moaning? Are we going to use work only? I mean, in some cases it is a paycheck, and we need to think about the deeper meaning behind the paycheck. It may be that it's helping us support our family. It's helping us go through school. So whatever that may be, I mean, that is again our responsibility to discover what those seeds of meaning are, and the meaning is unique to us. It's our interpretation. It's not someone else telling us what that meaning is. And so if we happen to be on a career path that we love, I mean, wouldn't it be great if all of us were doing something like when we get an Academy Award and we say, I can't believe I'm getting money, I'm getting paid, and I have all this, because I love this so much, it's not even work to me. So I think part of the responsibility that we have is to look for what is it. And there are some situations where maybe the work itself is pretty boring, but we love the people that we work with. We love our customers. I mean, we love the community. So that's the kind of questioning that we have these, you know, these glasses that kind of ignore the fact that they're blemishes.
Right, because there's some truly toxic situations.
And, you know, but the idea is that if we don't have a positive attitude, we will get stuck. And that's the whole idea of, and I'm sure members of your audience know, the space between what happens to us. And it's within that space that we can choose how we're going to respond. And if we choose to see negative things, we will, that'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy. We will see negative things. If we can see the positive in a situation, that'll at least help us get unstuck. So maybe we have to go look for another job, or a new relationship, or move to another neighborhood, or whatever. So that's the first principle. Next time you have a situation happen, no matter how negative, no matter how stressful it may be, is take a piece of paper and write down 10 positive things that come from that particular situation.
10 positive things.
No matter how bad the situation
of that thing that you thought was so bad.
It's so bad. And if you can't come up with a list of 10, ask your coworkers, ask your neighbors, your friends, your family members to help you come up with that list. And we've had, you know, I mean, I've had many situations where people have lost their job and their friends are sitting around saying, let's list 10 positive things from losing your job. You hated the job in the first place. Okay. So the idea here is what are the values that drive us? I mean, for example, one of our values is that we may want to be very creative. And if we're in a job that doesn't allow us to be creative, what happens? We start to lose our sense of meaning. We start to get bored. We start to get frustrated. So we really have to think if creativity is very important to you, then you really need to find either creativity in your job or you need to find some other outlet for that creative expression.
So sometimes could that be a solution to finding meaning in your work, is actually finding more meaning and satisfaction outside your work, and that sort of takes the pressure off at work?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think it's very important to recognize that when I talk about work, I'm not just talking about paid work. I'm not just talking about work in an office. I'm talking about work, I mean, you could be a single mom or parent. You could be doing volunteer work. You could be doing part-time work. Oh, absolutely.
We know that.
I mean, think about how much of our lives we spend working, okay? I mean, it's amazing. So if we're unhappy, if the only time we're happy is when we're sleeping, and something being a prisoner of our thoughts is doing kind of a self-examination.
Yeah, because that takes some time to take that sort of
we as
deeper
human beings
reflection.
are very unique. and we're more unique than, say, our pets. Like we may all have a dog or a cat that we think smiles, but the reality is our dog doesn't smile at itself. Okay, and we can do that. We can actually separate ourselves a little bit, almost like having an out-of-body experience, and poke fun at ourselves. And that enables us again to kind of loosen up, and we can look at, oh, I made that mistake. Why did I do that?
Right.
All right. Oh my gosh, you know, and move on. And so that's an important principle in terms of how do we practice that, so that when we do something at work and we want to make sure that we get a promotion, we become so obsessed and fixated on that promotion that we end up falling all over ourselves. And so we really need to detach ourselves, not only from our work, but from ourselves. Don't take ourselves so seriously.
Good to talk to you. Thanks so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Pattakos. For a condensed version of all 7 of Dr. Pattakos' core principles, you can visit our website at cbc.ca/Gill. And for the complete list, you can always get the book, Prisoners of Our Thoughts. We'll be right back.